Hi, my name is Footprints, and in this video we'll be doing a patent leather repair on a pair of AJ11 threads. And I'll show you how to take them from looking like this over here, with all the damage that you can see on the patent leather, cracking, etc. And I'll show you how to apply your patent leather paint so you can get them to looking something like this over here. So stay tuned and keep watching. Thank you.
I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me, and what was left over I put towards my dreaming.
Alright, let's give a couple tips out here when you spraying your patent leather paint. One thing I want to note here is don't make your paint, the airbrush paint, when you go to put your patent paint in the airbrush, don't make it like thin. Okay, you want it to be like a pretty hard to spray. I'm not saying really hard, but I'm trying to get you something so you can see. Let me see if you can see the consistency. Okay, good. A friction stick here, but here's the kind of thickness you want. You see there, it's not like really runny. Okay, you want it to be kind of thick. You don't want this to be loose, because you're going to get a thin coat on the top and it's going to start to create like holes. So just remember to keep it kind of thick when you spraying. 2, when you put your spray on, when you start spraying your patent spray onto the shoe, get this. You don't want to put a coat so thick that it doesn't dry underneath. Okay, you want it to dry on top and like thoroughly all the way through. So I keep my airbrush about 2 inches away from the shoe. I'll give it a little test on the tape to see that my paint is coming out, and then wherever the damage is at in the area, I give it like 12 brushes, 10 to 12. I see my tape is coming up here, so I keep my little needles. You can see the 2 needles that I have in here to keep the tape down. So I'm gonna try to get another one right here, because I don't want that to come up as I'm spraying. Okay, and that just goes into the mesh. And wherever I see like major damage and major holes, like I said, 10 to 12 coats, especially on the crack areas, and then we're gonna let it sit. Okay, and you're gonna let that dry up for about an hour to an hour and a half. Okay, depending on the humidity and whatnot in your area, that will take effect if it's raining outside, etc. If I see little specks and stuff on the patent or whatever, that was a chip part, so we have to sand that down and cover it. But I take out little chips and stuff like that, because I don't want that stuff sticking in the paint job, because it's gonna set. So I just keep the tweezers there, and I'm looking around for, you know, debris and stuff inside of my paint, which is not much up here, but I just pluck that off. Now we're gonna let that sit and dry. I'm gonna take this out of here. I'm sitting it in a dry area. It's like I said, that has an effect if it's raining or something outside. Maybe if it's too hot in your area, you want the temperature to be around wherever you at, about 70 degrees, 65 to 70 degrees. Okay, now we're gonna do the same thing here. You're just gonna put on, when you're spraying the patent paint, just like a blackish, grayish type coat. If it's a cracked area, like I said, I give it about 10 to 12 sprays, brushes. As soon as I see that little light gray coat come up, like I'm done. I'm not gonna overdo it, because I want it to dry underneath. I got a crack right here. I know there was a crack right there, so I'm gonna stay on that area a little longer to fill that gap. Then at the end, I'm gonna hold my brush about 6 inches away, and I'm gonna give it a full blast, just going around the shit. Like so. About 6 inches away, and you give it a nice full blast. You'll see that gray coat come up, and then you just leave that and you let that set. One more thing, the paint is really thick and it can clog up your gun. So what I do, and you can see here in the front of my gun, that's the patent paint. So you gotta, it's real tedious work, keeping your gun clean, you know, removing all those debris. The stuff dries up. It can dry up pretty quick inside your nozzle, okay? And it builds up really, really thick. So as I'm spraying the patent spray, I just take my gun after I'm done, and I just keep it submerged in some water and some solution. It's a real old bottle I had laying around, so that's what I use it for. And this really reduces the amount of clogs and whatnot I can get from spraying patent paint, because it can be a real headache. So just make sure after you're done spraying, submerge it in your water, leave it like that, and just clean it out. Just recycling the water. Just cleaning out your gun inside the water, and then just sit it there and let it sit and submerge in there. And you let that sit, you know, you put your Windex, acetone, whatever in there, and just keep that submerged. And that's how I use my gun when I'm spraying patent leather paint. All sneaker supplies and DIY sneaker restoration tools available on eBay. Links will be in the description or the comments. I'm about to do a demo with some of my patent leather paint. People was asking what's the difference with the patent leather paint and regular paint. This, as you can see here, this is Angela, so we're just gonna do a quick demo. I'm gonna show you the thickness, the viscosity of the paint. You can watch Angela's just pour out and run there. You can see how loose Angela's paint is compared to my patent leather paint, or what patent leather paint is. You can see that there's paint in there. And as I put the bottle over the top, nothing comes out, because it's very, very thick, or it's very, very hard to come out. As you can see, it's not very, very loose. You can see the drip. So that's one of the main differences, is the overall thickness of the paint. I'm working with a pair of Air Jordan 11s, went like 82s, and I'm repairing the patent leather. And I'm gonna give you a little tip on how I'm doing it as I'm spraying it. I let my paint dry, and if you develop a line, I'm gonna show you what to do. But before that too, I can show you, this is some of the patent leather paint inside of a cup. At the bottom, this is a plastic cup. I'm gonna try to scrape it up. You can hear it and see how hard it is to get off of that plastic. You can see my X-Acto knife here. You can see it's almost bending the X-Acto knife, as you can see there. Like, I'm really trying to scrape. So you can see it sticks to plastic. Hey, my name is Footprints, and again, I'd like to thank you for watching. So here's a little bit about me. I specialize in reglues and patent leather repairs, and I also can fix the hole in the front of a toe box for like Yeezy 350s, or on the side as well. I have a special suede and nubuck renewal powder and sealer that's available, and I also do online live classes. I have ebooks available, PDFs, and a whole lot more. So stay tuned, and thank you again.